Today, back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
Well, President-elect Trump has repeatedly promised to fix our country's border crisis, starting immediately, day one, he says. But Democratic leaders in sanctuary jurisdictions have been pushing back against his efforts before he even takes office.
We're not going to cooperate. We're not going to ask our police force to serve as ICE agents.
I'm going to do everything that I can to protect our undocumented immigrants, the residents of our state.
I will fight you every step of the way.
If it's contrary to our values, we will fight to the death.
Would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not.
We are not cooperating with those efforts that actually threaten the safety of everyone by causing widespread fear.
Not cooperating, they say. Trump's pick for Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller's nonprofit with a warning now to those sanctuary states and city leaders in California and beyond. The organization sent out 249 letters outlining the consequences of interfering with or impeding illegal immigration enforcement. Here's an excerpt from that letter. It says, "Your jurisdiction's sanctuary laws or policies, therefore, make a mockery of American democracy and demonstrate a shocking disrespect for the rule of law. We urge you to do the right thing, protect your citizens, and comply with federal law." Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona, a border state, will join us shortly to talk about this. But first, we go live to senior national correspondent William La Jeunesse with the latest on the pushback. Hi, William.
Well, Aisha, the letter is a warning shot to governors, mayors, and police chiefs who, quote, blatantly violate federal immigration law. Such lawlessness subjects you and your subordinates to significant risk of criminal and civil liability. And accordingly, it says, we put you on notice of this risk and insist that you comply with the nation's laws. So the law they're talking about, U.S. Statute 1373, says local and state governments cannot prohibit local sheriffs or police from communicating with ICE in any way, which entirely conflicts with sanctuary laws that prohibit police from communicating with ICE at all, refusing to admit that criminal aliens are in their jail or when they're going to be released.
Shame on any elected representative, any congressman, council person, any mayor, any governor who don't want to remove public safety threats from your community. And they're here illegally. That is your number one responsibility, is protect your communities. So if you're not going to do it, President Trump and ICE will.
So why is it important? Well, ICE filed 300,000 detainers last 4 years asking jails to hold migrants for deportation. Even more detainers were filed under President Trump. Yet reports show hundreds of counties decline thousands of detainers, in many cases, no matter how serious or violent the crime. Well, that puts sheriffs sworn to protect public safety between a rock and a hard place, right? Facing federal prosecution if they don't cooperate, and from the states if they do. So, Aisha, there are two issues here, right? The law says if you're here illegally, you're deportable, crime or not. And secondly, the 1986 Immigration Control Act, passed by Congress, requires criminal aliens be deported, quote, as expeditiously as possible after the date of their conviction. So that's really hard to do if states are interfering with the process. Back to you.
All right, William La Jeunesse, thank you for setting us up. Appreciate it. Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona with a recent opinion piece titled, "America Last. Democrats Push Mass Migration, Ignore Voters." He serves on the Judiciary Committee and as the co-chair of the Border Security Caucus. He is joining me live now. Congressman, good to see you. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but Arizona, a battleground state, went for President-elect Trump in November. Border security was one of the most important issues nationwide. So what do these people think that they're doing here?
Well, you're right. Trump won by nearly 200,000 votes in Arizona. It was a big win for him. Republicans went up and down the ballot, and border security was the top issue. So You have a governor now, our governor, and the mayor of Tucson have said they're not going to cooperate. So they're missing the boat on what their citizens want and also what the law requires. And I believe that under this administration, which will be different than the last one, Aisha, is that you'll actually see a Department of Justice go after those officials who are actually aiding and abetting and violating the law.
Well, it's interesting because Chuck Schumer came out with a warning last week saying that they were going to use the courts and all these judges that they had appointed during the Biden administration to fight back. There has been a legal victory, though, for the incoming Trump administration. In fact, a federal judge just sided with Texas to stop the Biden administration from selling off parts of the border wall just a month before he takes office here. So the president-elect posting this on social media, calling the ruling a major crucial win for America and our national security. The judge has also ordered an investigation into the illegal selling of the materials, which will expose just how corrupt and anti-American radical Democrats are. Incoming border czar Tom Homan also weighing in on this, Congressman. Let's listen.
It's disgusting that they're going to take that border wall, which like you just said, we pay top dollar for, and selling it for pennies on the dollar. Ken Paxton, the AG in Texas, took immediate action. I know I've been working with Lindsey Graham, taking immediate action. So right now, I think we got them stopped. But it's insulting. They wait 4 years just before we take control to sell a main piece of our plan to secure that border.
So, Congressman, this is not going to stop, though. They're not going to stop with the fights in the courts. So should the president-elect stop these sanctuary cities from getting federal grants like he did the last time?
Yes, I think so. Money talks. It is the #1 leverage point that the federal government has. And we are still a federalist government. And that means that we respect the states, but they have to comply with constitutional obligations and laws that we pass, and this is one, and they're violating it. And so money will be the leverage point, I believe, for the Trump administration and this Congress going in against these states that want to violate the law.
Before I let you go, Congressman, I have to ask you about the president-elect making some news over the weekend, demanding that the debt ceiling issue be dealt with before he ever is sworn into office. That's not a very long time. You know, you voted against the last CR measure that had the debt ceiling involved in it because there were no offsets. Is there any world that you see in which this could get done before January 20th, the way that the president wants to see it?
Well, it would take pedal to the metal, and yeah, you could do it and have your budget reconciliation done, but it would take all hands on deck like right away. And this is where we get to Speaker Johnson. I think he should be working on it right now. We shouldn't be taking so much of a holiday. I get it. We're tired, but you know what? It's our job. We can get it done, but it'll take everybody pulling together. That's for sure.
Will you vote for Speaker Johnson? In January, he just got the endorsement from the president-elect.
Yeah, just this morning got the endorsement. I haven't publicly or privately committed yet. I do want to speak with the speaker just to see what his plans are, because there are some issues that I think need to be worked out, specifically dealing with the budget issues.
Okay. All right. We will wait and see what happens with that. Congressman Andy Biggs, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Aisha.
We'll see you back on the Hill.
Yeah.
You as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.